Welcome to this Growth Lancashire Limited video on researching heritage assets. This is a short overview to introduce you to methods to help you research your local heritage assets. If you are unsure about some of the terms used during this video, you can view a simple glossary of terms available on the Lancashire Local List website. This video has been developed to support individuals or groups who want to contribute to the Lancashire Local List, but maybe do not know where to start. The aim of this guide is to provide a step-by-step guide on researching heritage assets for individuals and community groups wanting to participate in and to contribute to the Lancashire Local List project. You will find guidance on how to identify potential sites to nominate for the list and be provided with the different resources that are available to start you on your research journey. The examples provided in this guide will give you all the components you need to contribute to the enrichment of the Lancashire Local List in a structured way. In preparation to getting started, there may be a few things you may want to consider, such as, do you know what buildings, structures, sites or landscapes you want to identify? You may want to consider walking around a town or area to take photographs. And have you checked if the heritage asset is already on a local list or already designated as a listed building on the National Heritage List for England? This will enable you to identify national listed buildings and structures so that you can cross them off as potential candidates for the Lancashire Local List immediately. We only want buildings which are non-designated. There are a few different ways to check the National Heritage List for England, which we will look at later in the video. It is also worth considering what local knowledge you already have of the building or site. Use your existing knowledge to assess the character of the area. Is it rural or urban? Quiet or busy? Think about what makes the heritage asset itself special. For example, why do you feel it is of heritage value and therefore important? Having a brief overview of the historical development of the area may be useful and help you to understand the area and build upon what is special about the heritage asset. Research is an essential part of the process for local listing. Discovering the history of an asset can be a challenging but rewarding experience. Knowing its history and that of its surroundings can tell you what is important about it. This is what we call its significance. Gathering information about a heritage asset can help you determine if it has the potential for inclusion on a local list and provide you with enough information to put forward for nomination, and can also help you when thinking about its future management, or even going one step further and deciding whether to put it forward for inclusion on the national list. There is a wide variety of resources that you can consult to find out more about the history of a heritage asset. These may range from historic photos and maps to archival sources and books. Many of these can be found online. Once you have identified a local heritage asset, it is best to check if it has already been added to a local list. The easiest way to do this is to visit the Lancashire Local List website at local-heritage-list.org.uk/Lancashire. Once registered on the site, you can do a quick and easy search. This can be done via clicking on the map link. Once here, if you click on the search icon or magnifying glass icon, you can enter in the location or postcode. Once the map has moved to the area you require, you may see greenhouse icons like these. These identify locally listed buildings. If you see a greenhouse icon in a location that you have, this may indicate that your heritage asset is already on a local list. If you hover over an icon, the details of the asset will show and you can confirm if this is or not your asset. If you click on the icon, you will see the details appear to the left. Here you can then visit the full details by clicking on the link. A second way to do a search is by visiting the list page. Here you have various search options. For example, you can filter by area or asset type. Another way to search is by just entering your location or the name of the asset that you are looking for. Once you have done this, you can view the list that is available. Here you can see from typing in Rock Gardens, Devonshire Road Rock Gardens has appeared. If this was the asset that I was looking for, then I can confirm that this is already on a local list. If you click on the link, you can look at the full details. If you have been unable to find your asset, the next check that you should do is to see if it's been nationally listed. You can also do this via the Lancashire local list map. Once you have your location, using the search areas over here, you can select a variety of other assets to see what's in the area. So if you're interested in scheduled monuments, you could click that, or listed buildings, parks and gardens, battlefields, protected wrecks and World Heritage Sites. As you can see here from clicking listed buildings, the listed building triangles have come up and you can see the different assets. So this can help you to determine if you already have a building or an asset that's already been nationally listed. Again, if you click on the blue triangle that's in your area, you can see the details of what that asset is. So this may confirm whether this is or not your asset. A further way to establish if your heritage asset is nationally designated is to visit the Historic England website. Here you can search the list. There are two options for searching the list. You can search via a keyword postcode, or you can search using the map by dragging yourself off to a location that you want, or if you have a postcode, it'll take you to that area. So for example, we'll do a search from a name. And you can view your search results scrolling down the page. Click on what you think is your heritage asset, and here you can find all the details from the listing description. So it'll tell you the grade it's in, the category, the list entry number. It show it's on the map there, that little blue triangle, and then you can see the description of the heritage asset, and on some occasions it will also provide you with a photograph at the bottom. Once it has been established that the heritage asset is not already nationally or locally listed, you need to gather details of the heritage asset itself by visiting its location, taking photographs, which must be from public vantage points, and noting down details that you can use as part of your assessment. It is important to note that digital photographs will be required for the Lancashire Local List website, but thankfully you will not need an expensive camera. Any kind of digital camera should be sufficient for capturing images for the digital platform, including those found on most mobile phones. There is further guidance, tools and videos available on the Lancashire Local List website to help you gather more information, to take usable photographs and to understand the significance and what is important about heritage assets. However, a visual study may only go so far in understanding what is special about an area. By researching an area's history, you can develop a better understanding of how the buildings and spaces reflect its evolution and unique character. Some information may be accessible via online resources, for example, through the Lancashire Historic Environment Record, Heritage Gateway or Heritage Forums, and parish councils, whilst others may require visiting a local library, record office, or other public archive. Let's explore some of these options in Lancashire. Historic environment records are maintained by local planning authorities and provide comprehensive information and evidence about the historic environment in a particular area. In the case of the Lancashire Historic Environment Records, these are held and maintained by Lancashire County Council and contains information on over 35,000 known sites across the county. This includes standing ruins, prehistoric and medieval earthworks, features identified on aerial photographs, and medieval pottery. In fact, any material remains of Lancashire's past. Historic landscapes, townscapes, and building information is also held, as well as aerial photographs and reports on archaeological fieldwork and building recording. Furthermore, the records held include details of all scheduled monuments and listed buildings in the county, as well as information from the Register of Parks and Gardens of Special Historic Interest. You can visit the Our Collections page on the Lancashire County Council website at www.lancashire.gov.uk/archives/our-collections/. The Heritage Gateway is managed by Historic England in partnership with the Association of Local Government Archaeological Officers and the Institute of Historic Building Conservation. The website allows you to cross-search over 60 resources offering local and national information relating to England's heritage. These include local authority records from over 70% of England's historic environment records, including Lancashire. National records from the National Heritage List for England, including listed buildings and scheduled monuments. Historic England research records, records from the National Trust Historic Building Sites and Monuments Record, the Excavation Index, information of historic parks, gardens and historic landscapes, and designation decision records. There is a range of online archives and resources that you can access to try and help build a record of information for your heritage assets. These include the National Archives, which is the government's official archive, which holds over 1,000 years of public records. Its website includes a searchable online catalogue and online guides to various topics such as wills and probate records and census returns. It also has a helpful research guide for houses. In addition, Access to Archives is an online catalogue covering about a third of the records held by the archives in England and Wales. It includes repositories located at more than 400 different places, such as local record offices, universities, libraries, museums, and national and other institutions. British History Online is a site that has useful primary and secondary sources for the history of Britain. The Historic England Archives is an online catalogue of archive material held at the Historic England Archive in Swindon. The archive is a large collection of historic photographs of buildings, for example, Britain from above, and images of England. This collection of photographs is now available to view on the Find Photos webpage. The Oxford Dictionary of National Biography includes over 60,000 biographies, 72 million words, 11,000 portraits of significant, influential, or notorious figures who shaped British history. There's another project which is led and managed in London at the Institute of Historical Research, but driven by local county trusts and their members. It is the Victoria County History Series. This is a national project to write the history of every county in England and is a collection of encyclopedic records of England's places and people from the earliest times to the present day. Sometimes a simple search online can reveal useful information about a heritage asset. It may reveal photographs, local news stories, old property sale particulars, and maybe related groups or trusts that you can contact to find out more information. In Lancashire, there are some local resources that you can access, such as the Record Society of Lancashire and Cheshire, who publish the text of historic documents relating to the two counties, everything from wills, deeds and inquests to letters and financial accounts. The Lancashire Online Parish Clerk Project. This website aims to extract and preserve the records from the various parishes within Lancashire. Data and records are presented from the earliest records that can be found up to approximately the end of the 19th century. The Lancashire History Federation is a website that provides some other ideas of platforms for potential research and archives. Some areas also have family history centres where you can visit and view comprehensive collections of material on local history. For example, electoral registers, historic ordnance survey maps, local trade directories and census records. Some also contain parish records from Lancashire parishes, local newspapers, local newspaper indexes and cuttings, and local historic photographic collections. Here are some of the family history centres in Lancashire. The Blackpool Family History Centre is located on the first floor of Blackpool Central Library on Queen Street in Blackpool. The Chorley Family History Research Centre is located at Astley Hall Farmhouse in Astley Village in Chorley. The Preston England Family History Centre is at Temple Way, Hartwood Green in Chorley. Another valuable source for research are historic maps, including ordnance survey maps. These can assist people in understanding the development of the area. Good sources for viewing digital maps include Mario Maps. This is a Lancashire County Council's interactive mapping website. You can use this service to access information about an area in Lancashire or look at services provided by the County Council and its partners. You can use Mario to find your street, your house, or anywhere else in the county. It also provides historic maps and aerial photographs. Another great resource is the National Library of Scotland. The Map Images resource allows you to access and view all the maps they have scanned as high-resolution, colour zoomable images. The maps date from between 1560 and 1970 and include maps of England and Great Britain. If you are researching a particular asset type, you may be able to find a specialist group or society that has more information locally or nationally. Here are some examples. The Airfield Research Group provides an archive of historical records associated with the history and development of airfields. The 20th Century Society campaigned to save outstanding buildings and design that have shaped the British landscape since 1914. The Georgian Group, whose work is informed by two charitable objectives: firstly, to save Georgian buildings from destruction and disfigurement, and secondly, to stimulate public knowledge and appreciation of Georgian architecture and town planning. The Mills Archive is a permanent repository for the documentary and photographic records of traditional and contemporary mills and milling, as well as similar structures dependent on traditional power sources. It makes that material freely available for public inspection and use in research and learning. The Victorian Society worked to protect Victorian and Edwardian buildings from demolition and destruction, and also provide advice on a variety of topics. The Workhouse, the Story of an Institution website covers the history of workhouses in the British Isles. The Society for Theatre Research, whose principal activities are publishing specialist theatre books and journals, staging an annual programme of lectures, study days and other events, furthering enquiries and maintaining a register of members' research interests. The Vernacular Architecture Group provide a variety of publications and online resources relating to the study of traditional buildings. War Memorials Online is where you can browse the current records and upload your own content, including photos and condition reports, to help create a complete picture of all war memorials across the country. The Imperial War Museum's War Memorials Register is a comprehensive national register of over 90,000 UK war memorials and the names of the individuals they commemorate. It is worth checking whether any books have been published on the asset you are researching, such as local histories or biographies of people who may have been associated with it. You may also be able to access some of these via your local library or local and family history centre. You may also find useful information in the articles of local newspapers or even national newspapers, some of which can be accessed at the British Newspaper Archive. Journals can also be a useful source of information. You can access academic journals, primary sources and books online at JSTOR. Records offices can be a great source of information. Your local archive will have a host of useful information relating to your local area and may hold resources such as historic maps, photographs and newspapers. You could also try your local library, as they may also have records, collections and other resources that can help you. You may find useful information in existing documents held on your local planning authority's website. These may include local heritage lists, conservation area appraisals, area character assessments, neighbourhood plans, and village design guides. It is also useful to look up the planning history for a building or site using the local planning authority's website or the planning portal. Previous applications may include building plans, photographs, maps, or even planning and heritage statements, which could give you some interesting and useful background information. Remember to look at current and historic planning applications and check neighbouring properties, as they could hold information about the site you are researching too. From your research, for any nomination you would like to put forward, you should try and aim to gather, at the very least, the following information: the address, including postcode. If you are struggling to determine a full address, you can always provide a description of the site, for example, 50 metres north of the junction of the A585 and the A588. If possible, a grid reference, which determines the exact location of the heritage asset so that it can be viewed on a digital map. You can generate this online at websites such as Mario Maps, noted earlier in the video, or Grid Reference Finder at www.gridreferencefinder.com. A clear photo of the heritage asset in full. There is a short video to assist in taking the best photographs, which is available on the Lancashire Local List website. A written description of the key features or characteristics, and a summary of why it should be recognised on the Lancashire Local List. The better the research to establish and outline the building's significance, the better the chance it has to be selected and added to the list. There is a training video available on the Lancashire Local List website to help you identify and understand the significance of a heritage asset. To assist in collecting the correct information to determine and evidence the significance of a heritage asset, you could use the nomination form on the Lancashire Local List website. This can be used as a prompt to gather your information and is also available in a printable form. This information will be required to nominate a heritage asset on the digital platform. Please note, not all the categories of value on the form are required, as only some may apply to particular heritage assets. Thank you for watching this video provided by Growth Lancashire Limited. I hope you found it informative and helpful. If you would like to learn more about Growth Lancashire Limited and the work that we do, please visit our website at www.growthlancashire.co.uk.